After a lifetime of caring, I just can't anymore. So I don't.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times.
But I think I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type.
Ellen DeGeneres is reportedly in full crisis mode, and not just over fading fame. With the walls closing in on Sean Diddy Combs amid a flood of legal trouble and damning revelations, whispers are growing louder about Ellen's potential involvement in some of the darker corners of his world. What once looked like mere Hollywood friendships may now be exposed as something far more complex and unsettling. By now, it seems like everyone's heard the rumors swirling through the entertainment world that Ellen wasn't just a daytime TV icon, but allegedly played a key role behind the scenes of Diddy's controversial social circle. As federal investigations into Diddy's activities pick up speed and more names start surfacing, Ellen's is being mentioned in hushed tones. No longer as America's talk show darling, but as someone with secrets to hide. And here's where it gets even more curious. Remember when Ellen and her wife, Portia de Rossi, suddenly packed up and relocated to the UK? That move happened to align eerily with the timing of Diddy's arrest and Justin Bieber's very public unraveling. Coincidence? Many now believe otherwise. In recent days, fresh details have started to emerge that might explain their sudden exit, and they paint a troubling picture of the celebrity elite. Allegations are flying about the true nature of certain A-list gatherings, and Ellen's longtime ties to Diddy are under the microscope. One particular moment stands out. When paparazzi asked Ellen about her relationship with the embattled mogul, her reaction said more than words ever could. The discomfort was visible, tense, evasive, like someone holding back more than she wanted to reveal. What we're witnessing may be the beginning of a reckoning, not just for Diddy, but for a whole network of stars once shielded by fame. The story is far from over, but one thing's for sure. The curtain is being pulled back, and the truth is looking darker than anyone expected.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know.
Sean Diddy Combs used to be a staple guest on the Ellen DeGeneres show, always bringing high energy, trading punchlines with Ellen, and delivering that polished, made-for-TV chemistry. Their banter felt effortless, complete with the kind of staged chuckles that daytime audiences eat up. But in hindsight, those playful jabs Diddy often threw Ellen's way, especially about her habit of skipping out on his legendary parties, are hitting differently now. What once came across as harmless teasing is now being rewatched with a much more serious lens. Fans are digging up old clips, noticing the odd tension under the surface of those jokes. Back then, it seemed like a quirky bit. Now, given the storm of legal scrutiny surrounding Diddy, those throwaway comments carry a much heavier, more unsettling weight. It's a striking example of how context can shift everything. What seemed like lighthearted TV fluff now feels more like coded warnings, or moments that hinted at a deeper story waiting to unravel.
You just brought a friend to Bora Bora?
Yeah.
And you're just naked with your friend?
Why are you putting me on the spot like this? Gosh.
I mean, you can say, why can't you say you're dating somebody?
I'm not dating anyone, though.
She's just a friend?
Just a friend.
Wow. I have friends, I've never seen them naked like that. And they don't bring me to Bora Bora.
Stop, you're making me blush.
Things are spiraling quickly, and Ellen DeGeneres is finding herself deeper in the spotlight. Not as the beloved talk show host we once thought we knew, but as a potential insider in a growing web of controversy. Publicly, Ellen brushed off any serious connection to Diddy's notorious parties, often playing coy about never attending. But sources behind the scenes suggest otherwise. According to multiple whispers, Ellen may have been a quiet presence at some of Diddy's most secretive gatherings. Not the glitzy public events, but the kind where phones were banned, cameras shut off, and only a select few were allowed behind the gates. The kind now being scrutinized by investigators and whispered about in courtrooms. And then there's Justin Bieber. A resurfaced clip of Ellen questioning a young Bieber on her show is being reevaluated under a much darker lens. The exchange, which once seemed like awkward humor, now feels unsettling. Ellen pressed him about his relationships and private moments in a way that visibly made him uncomfortable. In light of recent allegations that Bieber may have been mistreated by powerful industry figures, people are starting to connect the dots. If Ellen was so close to Diddy, how much did she really know about what was going on behind the scenes? This isn't the first time Ellen's carefully crafted image has been challenged. Behind the polished set of her show, former employees have painted a very different picture. One of toxicity, manipulation, and a culture of fear masked behind fake smiles and dance breaks. The once celebrated Queen of Kindness was suddenly being labeled the Queen of Mean, with story after story confirming what some had quietly suspected for years. Even celebrities who crossed paths with her felt the heat. In 2008, Mariah Carey appeared on Ellen's show and was pushed into revealing a pregnancy she wasn't ready to share, only for the world to later learn she had suffered a miscarriage shortly after. The emotional weight of that moment didn't fully come to light until Mariah spoke about it years later, still shaken by the experience. And let's not forget Ellen's ongoing tension with Wendy Williams, a woman who had her own battles with both Diddy and Ellen. Wendy had previously called out Diddy's rumored behavior and claimed that speaking out cost her her job. When Wendy finally appeared on Ellen's show, the atmosphere was icy at best. The questions were cold, the energy off. Ellen barely acknowledged her presence. It felt less like an interview and more like a silent war of reputations. Even smaller moments are being rewatched with fresh eyes, like that awkward episode with Dakota Johnson in 2019. Ellen tried her usual bit, joking that Dakota didn't invite her to her 30th birthday party. But Dakota, cool as ever, set the record straight. Ellen had been invited, and everyone on her staff knew it. The tension in the room was instant. Ellen, caught in the lie, fumbled for a recovery while Dakota sat poised, delivering subtle shade, with a smile. That moment cracked Ellen's image for good. No longer untouchable, no longer America's friend. Just another powerful figure playing a role on camera while something different played out behind the scenes. All of this is fueling a larger conversation. Ellen's history with Diddy, her interactions with vulnerable guests, her backstage behavior, it's all under renewed scrutiny. As Diddy's legal troubles expand and the industry reckons with long-buried truths, people are wondering, was Ellen simply adjacent to the chaos, or was she closer to it than we ever imagined? In Hollywood, it only takes one thread to unravel the whole tapestry, and this one, it's pulling fast. When the smiles fade, a closer look behind the curtain of power and performance. Imagine watching someone exude charm on a late-night talk show, cracking jokes, keeping it cool, acting like life is nothing but good vibes. That was Diddy on Jimmy Kimmel Live, just weeks before the public got hit with the thunderclap that was Cassie's lawsuit in November. Everything seemed normal until Jimmy brought up Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, and the serious allegations swirling around him. Suddenly, the energy shifted. The easygoing facade? Gone. What emerged was a visibly rattled Diddy, deflecting and dodging with nervous laughter. It was déjà vu for many, eerily reminiscent of the infamous moment Dakota Johnson called out. Ellen DeGeneres on her own show. One thing's becoming clear. People who build their brand on control and charm tend to unravel when confronted with truth on live television. But this isn't just about a few awkward interviews. What links Ellen and Diddy isn't just celebrity status. It's a disturbing pattern of alleged mistreatment, manipulation, and tightly curated public personas built on the illusion of kindness. Let's rewind to Diddy. In 2017, his former private chef, Cindy Rua, sued him, claiming not only unpaid overtime for 15-hour shifts, but also sexual harassment of the worst kind. She alleged he made her serve food while he was naked, made lewd comments, and even allowed guests to parade through the kitchen inappropriately. When she tried to report it, she says she was manipulated into dropping any legal claims after being falsely accused of theft. The lengths allegedly taken to silence her were staggering and deeply telling. Ellen, too, faced her reckoning in 2020 when BuzzFeed News dropped a report that blew up the internet. 10 former employees painted a picture of a deeply toxic work environment. People were punished for taking medical leave, grieving a loved one, or even speaking up. And the worst part? Many said Ellen wasn't just unaware. She encouraged the cruelty. One employee put it bluntly, "The be kind mantra only exists when the cameras are rolling." It didn't stop with the show. A former housekeeper claimed Ellen micromanaged her home like a drill sergeant, leaving traps to see if the cleaning staff was being thorough, like hiding matches behind doors to catch them slipping. Even her security team and maintenance workers reportedly feared her scrutiny. One ex-staffer went as far as saying Ellen seemed to enjoy demeaning the people she paid. Diddy and Ellen also share another parallel: silence from the celebrity circle when the truth started surfacing. Where were the dozens of A-listers once, proudly orbiting Diddy's world? And where were Ellen's Hollywood supporters when the curtain was pulled back? Crickets. Both stars built brands on love and kindness. Ellen's mantra, "Be kind to one another," echoed across households for years. Diddy literally changed his name to Love, championing peace and positivity. But behind closed doors, the stories suggest anything but love was happening. Cassie's 2023 lawsuit didn't just shock, it horrified. She alleged years of abuse so detailed and graphic the filing came with a trigger warning. According to her, Diddy subjected her to violence, control, and disturbing sexual coercion. She claimed he beat her for trying to leave, locked her away, while her injuries healed, and forced her into humiliating acts while he watched. When she finally broke free, Diddy reportedly paid $20 million to make it go away. Fast. That wasn't a standard settlement, that was damage control with a dollar sign. But Cassie wasn't alone. Diddy's exes, like Misa Hilton and the late Kim Porter, were also reportedly victims. One bodyguard said he once saw Misa hide under a car to escape him. Kim, according to artist Mark Curry, had her nose broken by Diddy. After their split, he allegedly wiretapped her and kept tabs on her every move. These aren't random outbursts. They point to a deeply disturbing pattern. Now, let's go back to Ellen. While no physical abuse has been alleged, insiders have long whispered about her controlling behavior in her marriage to Portia de Rossi. After they wed, sources claimed Ellen became jealous, obsessive, and overbearing. Portia reportedly felt caged in Ellen's world and struggled, silently with an eating disorder, something Ellen said she only learned about after reading Portia's memoir. How do you miss something that huge in a marriage? When Ellen's reputation started crumbling in 2020, Portia stood by her. But some say that support came from fear, not love. According to insiders, Ellen had become increasingly possessive, scared, that Portia might one day share the truth. It's the kind of household atmosphere where people walk on eggshells, even the dogs, who reportedly preferred Portia's presence to Ellen's. With all these revelations surfacing, people are starting to rewatch old footage of Diddy and Ellen through a new lens. Diddy's 17 appearances on Ellen's show now feel uncomfortable, especially odd moments like when he randomly chose Kevin Hart as his ideal elevator partner, or during the awkward kinky or drinky game with French Montana. Once brushed off as quirky TV antics, these clips now feel steeped in something more unsettling. At the end of the day, it's not just about canceled reputations or awkward interviews. It's about power, how it's abused, how it hides behind charm, and how long the public is willing to believe the performance. Ellen and Diddy once stood on stages preaching love and kindness. But when you strip away the cameras, the glitter, and the catchphrases, what remains is a question that refuses to go away. Were we ever really watching the real them?
Who talk baby talk in bed? Really?
This is not how you play the game?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a turn on, somebody talking baby talk to you.
No, it's just talking. Talking dirty.
No, baby talk.
Baby talk is in the category talking dirty.
Is it a baby
Hey, yo,
or
let
baby?
me explain something to you. There's no rules in talking dirty. There's no rules in talking dirty. I don't want to be with a baby. That's not my thing. I want her to.
And here's where things get even murkier. Over the years, clips have surfaced of Ellen and Diddy playfully chatting about attending each other's parties, as if they were more than just acquaintances. They joked about being regulars at each other's events, contradicting past claims Diddy made about Ellen never showing up. If anything, It almost hints that Ellen did pull up to the more exclusive behind-the-scenes gatherings, the kind without a guest list posted on Instagram. In one now viral clip, Diddy teases Ellen about being fashionably late to his party, playfully, begging her not to come too late because, as he puts it, the party doesn't really start until you arrive. She laughs, promises she won't disappoint, and the exchange feels less like celebrity small talk and more like two people who've partied together more than once, off camera. But the tone shifted dramatically when Diddy's legal troubles exploded into the headlines. After his arrest, paparazzi caught up with Ellen and asked her point blank about the mounting allegations against her longtime buddy. In that split second, Ellen's demeanor cracked. Her easy grin vanished, and a wave of visible discomfort washed over her. She didn't speak. She didn't move. She froze, like someone suddenly realizing the spotlight might be coming for them too. Her reaction said more than words ever could. In an industry built on knowing the right people, silence can speak volumes.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times.
So here's the latest. Word is, Ellen didn't just disappear from the Hollywood scene for a change of scenery. She vanished with intention. After things started heating up in LA, she packed her bags and crossed the Atlantic, like someone dodging the spotlight instead of chasing it. Now, she's fully immersed in her countryside era. Think less red carpets, more rolling hills, and quiet mornings with tea. People started noticing the shift when she subtly ditched that signature icy blonde for a more toned-down natural hair. Color. It wasn't just a style change. It felt like a symbolic reset. The celebrity Ellen we knew from daytime TV seems to be slowly fading into someone a bit more off-grid. Ellen and Portia didn't just move to any cozy corner either. They sold their Hollywood lifestyle and landed in Oxfordshire. Yes, that Oxfordshire. The quaint and very exclusive countryside enclave about 100 miles outside of London. It's not just sheep in silence out there. This is a certified celebrity magnet. Kate Moss lives nearby. The Beckhams, practically down the road. Even Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were recently spotted in the area during her UK tour. So the question becomes, is this newfound peace part of a genuine personal evolution, or is it a strategic retreat to avoid public scrutiny? Because from the outside looking in, it's starting to seem like a carefully choreographed escape plan rather than a spontaneous lifestyle pivot. Now here's where the plot thickens. The parallels between Ellen and Diddy, once brushed off as coincidence, are starting to raise eyebrows. The control, the reported manipulation, the eerily similar ways they've allegedly treated those closest to them. People are starting to connect the dots. It's no longer just tabloid chatter. It's a deeper reflection on how power can mask abuse, and how charm can be used to distract from darker truths, and those feel-good segments on Ellen's show. Rewatching them now, they almost feel like smoke and mirrors, distractions from what may have been happening behind closed doors. Meanwhile, the resurfaced footage of Diddy is being viewed through a very different lens, especially in light of Cassie's recent testimony. One thing's clear. When survivors start speaking out, when they reclaim their voice, truth has a funny way of surfacing, no matter how carefully it's been buried. So, what do you think? Is this all coincidence, or is the curtain finally being pulled back on the personas we thought we knew? Drop your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next deep dive.